We're live now.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Justin was saying hello to you all before we actually went live.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. This is where I just wait for it to come up on YouTube so that I'm kind of, there we go.
Yeah. It's better
And
that than the
for me.
opposite. It's better that I don't start talking while we're still on on the
Yeah.
live.
So how's everybody doing? It's lovely to see everyone here. Thanks so much for being here, and lots of people here early. Let's do a quick run down the register, class. We've got the lovely Jilly from Little's in Crone. Hi Jilly, how are you? We've got Simon's here from the Hermit's Cave. Sandra from the Whispering Well. I feel as though I've started this precedent now when I need to say everyone's channel names. We've got Kimberly. We have got the lovely Elle. Hi Elle. She says, it's beaut. I'm here early for once. Let's see. Oh, Justin, you're there.
Yeah, I'm
Hi,
here.
Justin.
Yep.
Jackie Jacaranda. We've got Ishi. Hi Ishi, how are you? And who else? Jen or Hen. Jen/Hen. And that might. Oh, Jamie Kelly. Hi Jamie, how are you? I've never been very good at doing this, but Cassie's here. Hi Cassie. And it jumped there. So we've got Luna Eclipse as well. I said Cassie. We'll get Chris from Barely Balanced Tarot. Hi Chris, it's nice to see you. How are you, young
Brother
man?
Bear.
V Kestrel's here. I think that is me. If I've missed anyone, as always, apologies. I've just realised you can see my whiteboard behind me. Doesn't say anything incriminating. It just says Christmas gifts and phone James Gibb. In case anyone was wondering. So Justin, hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good, actually. I just got a haircut and I got my manicure done.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling nice and fresh. I got a clip and a dip. I'm good. Yeah.
I've never. You can probably tell when you look at my hands, but I've never had a manicure. I think it's
Well,
something that's really that guys tend to do over here, to be honest.
I only do it once in a while. Like my hands get buried because I do a lot of I change my own brakes and I do work on the truck and not so much the car but the truck, and I just do a lot of stuff with my hands so my nails get buried. So I don't do it often, but I do like to do it once in
Yeah.
a while. Yeah, because my hands are just awful. But it's a manly kind, I didn't get not that it matters. If I wanted to get
Manly
nail
guy.
polish, I would. I mean, it's just not my thing. Actually, they did put nail polish. It's clear nail polish. See how shiny they are? They're sparkling. Nice and shiny.
I've just got to imagine now you walking into like this, like nail bar and being like, I would like a manly manicure, please.
Yeah,
Do they use the blue sponge thingies to separate your fingers instead of the pink ones then?
Yeah, I don't think so. No, I actually didn't even use the sponges. I think they did that for your toes. They just put my hand in like this little bucket of water, and then she like follows my nails, and then she switches. They're very fast and very good too. Makes
Yeah,
your hands feel good. Plus they put like moisturizer on it, so that's
cool.
fine. Make fun of me, Chris. It's okay.
Oh, that's me done. I had to get something in there. I couldn't let the live go by without mentioning it.
Right.
So I think I'm just going to quickly say hi to Deanne from Blue Crescent Tarot. I think I saw Naomi come in and Jenna from Jennifer Ball's Witch House. So hello to all of you. Nerys is here. Hi Nerys from Wiccan 222. If I missed anyone, I think we're good. Jonathan Daly. Hello. Or aloha.
Hello,
Right.
everyone.
Yeah, so in a couple of minutes, guys, we'll switch over to the table cam and we'll kind of kick this off. Just one thing I wanted to mention first is it's Transgender Awareness Week this week. I don't that those of you that are in the Barely Balanced Divination Den will have seen that I put a post on just asking to see different pictures of cards from different decks that have been created by, you know, transgender artists and or, ethically represent transgender people in the cards. So I've bought myself the Urban Tarot, and the lighting is terrible as usual. The Urban Tarot, so I have, and my understanding is that Robin Scott, who created this, is transgender. So I'm going to be doing, watch out, I'll be doing like a video in the coming days, kind of the same thing that I did with my Fournier Tarot de Marseille. I'll maybe do like a wee interview spread with it or something. So watch out for that. And yeah, let's kind of get this show on the road. So let me just mess about with the cameras, guys. So we don't want that kind of view. We want this kind of view, but we don't want me there. We want, there we go. Perfect. Right. So Justin, you've brought a question to us, I understand. Let me just...
Well, yeah. I mean, so I guess my question is mostly about my gym routine because I had surgery a couple of weeks ago. This is like something that's very much on my mind, but I don't mind sharing about. So I figured this was the perfect topic because I don't mind. I don't know, most people know, but I lost a whole bunch of weight at the start of COVID, and I sort of got really active and was lifting weights like 5 nights a week, and I was really, really into it. Then I had a surgery a couple of weeks ago. So I guess I just want to I guess I want to, maybe address how to sort of get back into the rhythm of things, where I was before.
Okay.
Like, because I felt really, really motivated, and I was like in the zone, like where all I thought about was working out. And then when I had that surgery, I had to take a couple of weeks off, and then I got quarantined for COVID. So I wasn't able to go to the gym for 14 days. So that's like almost a month of not being at the gym. And I've still been keeping up with my diet, but yesterday I cheated like really, really badly. I had some ice cream and I ate a whole bunch of carbs, which I don't really do really well. So I want to try and get, back focused. I did really well today though. So, and I will go to the gym tonight. They close at 9. So
cool.
But yeah,
so
I just want to see.
Kind of motivating, kind of look at the general situation around.
I think that'll be. No, it's okay. I think that's a good idea. See what's going on with the motivation factor. How do I get back? Because it just seems like such a far off place right now. My state of mind right now is not where it was. So I just want some reassurance, maybe.
Perfect. So guys, the first thing that I'm going to do, whilst I shuffle the tarot cards, I'm going to pull a wee soul card. I've got soul cards 1 and 2 here. This is, obviously the whole thing is optional. You don't have to join in, but soul cards have obviously not got any set meaning. Every one of us will probably look at the soul cards and see something maybe slightly different. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull one soul card. It's something for me to focus on whilst I'm shuffling it. It's something for you guys to kind of occupy yourselves with whilst I'm shuffling the cards. And yeah, I'm interested to know what you see when you look at the soul card. So can you all see that okay? If I put it on the table there, are we okay, like kind of distance and size-wise, I guess? So in relation just to Justin's question, what do we see when we look at this soul card? So have a think, everyone, and let me know what you think. So let me just, first of all, just hold it a bit closer to the camera, just to let everybody get a good look at it. Just do this once. Okay. So kind of got this figure kind of hunched over, seem to have this face kind of almost as if it's escaping. So what do we all think about that?
What deck is this, Chris? What is this deck?
This is soul cards 1 and 2. So that is 2 decks that I've kind of pushed into one. I'll let you see the boxes here.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love that image. It's really good.
Yeah, the images are absolutely beautiful. So they are in the soul cards. Sorry, I'm covering up the card.
Oh, wow.
But that's
I like the style of art. It's
yeah.
really, really something.
So, Justin, I don't know if have you got the comments in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I
So
don't like the card. Kind of neggy. Well, Cassie, I am neggy sometimes, so it's probably because of me. I definitely see what you're saying, though. Let's see.
So it does. I mean, right away, it does kind of.
New deck out at Christmas, Simon says.
Soul Cards 3 is that, or is that
McCormar, protect the core. That's interesting.
right?
Protection.
Okay. So,
Sandra says protection.
okay, interesting. So thinking about core work when you're going to the gym.
Yeah, that makes sense actually, because a lot of times I want to get back to just lifting weights, and I'm not bad at it, but I've been doing mostly cardio when I go. But cardio does help you get motivated.
Yeah.
And doing like core stuff, and I do need to do more core stuff. So that's interesting.
Okay.
Do you want to know what I think about this image?
Yeah, I would love to know.
I think that it's, for me, that's like sort of how I feel right now. Because I just lost my like mojo, and I need to like get it back. And I feel like
Yeah.
when I'm working out at the gym, every day or like regularly,
Yep.
and I'm like really into it, my whole demeanor changes. My confidence goes up.
Yep.
I feel much better about myself, and I'm sharper, more focused. So I
Yep.
feel like I'm also hard on myself for not doing it. So
Okay.
sort of.
Yeah. So we've got some comments here. So Joe doesn't see it as being so negative. Joe sees it as Joe sees healing with the rainbow. And
Maybe stretches, she said, strengthen the spine. That's interesting. I do that actually. I haven't been doing it this week, but I was doing stretching every day. I do this thing where like I lay down flat and I put like my butt against the wall and I put my legs up the wall and then I lay flat back and I crack my entire back and then I do like a child's pose stretch. And I do some yoga stretches, but I don't do yoga per se, but I do some yoga stretches. And that definitely centers me for sure. It makes me feel, makes my blood flow much better and I have less pain. So I agree with that. I think I definitely have to do more stretching. I appreciate that.
yeah, I think we had something from Selkie as well. Selkie mentioned seeing fear, was it? It reminds me of shame or hiding feelings, fear also. Okay. So it's interesting because just when you were speaking there, you said you feel as though you've lost your mojo. Now, I mean, you can't. For me, I can't get away from the kind of negative kind of feeling in this card. Do you know what I mean? I know that there's the rainbow there and everything, but I kind of agree with what Selkie says. I do see the aspect of just kind of being done with it. You said getting you feel as though you're losing your mojo, and that's what I kind of see here. It's almost like your mojo's kind of getting away from you, and it's the kind of not quite shame, not ashamed of yourself, but you just kind of get scunnered with yourself, don't you? You feel annoyed with yourself, and you're like, why can I not pick myself back onto this? And what I would say is, like the image in the cards. So if we look at the kind of face that's kind of looks as though it's moving off to the left hand side, if we look at that as your kind of mojo that you feel as though you're losing, um, you've got the rainbow behind you. Okay, so and this is something that I need to really kind of remember when I kind of try and get back into something. When I'm trying to get back into whether it's my weight loss routine, whether it's my routine and work, like don't try and imitate what you were doing before because there's a reason that you lost your mojo. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason
True.
that it didn't continue to work for you. So if you want to kind of pick that, get that mojo back, you're maybe going to have to think of something new that you can do. And if you look, the person's got this rainbow above them. There is something there. There's definitely hope there, and there's something new there for you. You kind of just need to stop focusing so much on what you've lost and look about and see, think about the different things that you can do. That's what I see with that card. So we've got Jonathan says feeling trapped by his body and feeling like he can't do what he used to, leaning on his fear, anger, and almost trapped by the rainbow. Okay, so right, Jonathan maybe sees something a bit different with the rainbow there. Jade's here. Taro, your truth. Hi, Jade. How are you
Hi,
doing?
Jade.
Just dropping in to say hello as she's in between meetings. Don't you worry about that. Thank you very much for popping in. Nerys maybe sees a bit of constraint in the card. Yeah. Jelly sees hidden sorrow. So, oh, for goodness sake, man. Sorry, I just shouted down the microphone at you all, but I'm like throwing cards like left, right, and centre here. It's like I don't think I've seen Jen's balanced tarot here, but she's definitely here in spirit. There I go again. Right, well, let's get started. So we're going to go with the kind of classic Celtic Cross tarot spread. It's going to be the version from 78 Degrees of Wisdom. So I don't know if you are familiar with that, but I'll kind of guide you through what the spread positions are as we go through it. Okay, so let me just
like
pop that up there out the way. So the first and second positions, you know, the first one down and then the one that crosses it. In 78 Degrees, Rachel really talks about these as, and I'm talking about them together because it's easier to say what they mean by bouncing them off each other. So the first one is kind of like your innermost feelings on the matter. Do you know what I mean? You're at your very core, if you strip everything back, what are your views? What are your feelings? How are you really feeling about this? And then the second card is kind of like more surface level. It's like, what actions are you taking? You know, how are you basically manifesting your feelings toward this thing in the kind of everyday world? Do you know what I mean? So it's like kind of like the inner and the outer, or the kind of being and the doing. You know, that those are cards 1 and 2. So that I think it's just easier to understand them as a pair rather than trying to think about them, trying to explain them separately. So card 1 is the kind of innermost. Right, okay, so we've got the Page of Swords. So what do we all see? So this is like, when you strip it back to its very core, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at the Page of Swords. So I'm kind of like not too sure how to, I think because of the delay that we have, I'll maybe start chatting. I'll maybe start saying what I think about the card. You can maybe join in and we can have a conversation, Justin. And, when the comments start coming up, we can, we can read out people's comments and see what they think. So when I look at this card, right away it strikes me that it's a sword card. We're very much, swords can kind of sometimes talk about struggles. So I suppose it kind of speaks to the fact that you're maybe struggling with this whole, with your situation, with your, your fitness regime, your weight loss program. It maybe speaks to there being a bit of struggle. Page is a kind of learner, so you're looking for new ideas. You're looking for some new spark that's going to give you, like, to use your kind of vocabulary before, give you your mojo back. You're basically looking for a new path, something different, a complete different state of mind. And with the swords, I always think when we get cards like the Page of Swords or the Ace of Swords, it really kind of highlights how important it is to approach whatever it is you're doing with a beginner mindset. So if you thought, like, I'll use an example to kind of demonstrate what I mean. If you decide, right, I'm going to get a PT, and he's going to make me up he or she, they're going to make me up a new routine, a new weight loss, what am I trying to say? A new program, basically. If you're approaching that from a point of view where you're like, oh, well, I know you're telling me to do 10 of them, but I know I can do 15, so I'm just going to do 15. See, if you need to approach it like a beginner. You need to basically take everything that they're telling you and kind of basically just throw yourself into it. Don't try and kind of bring your ego into it, just almost lose your ego and approach it like a complete beginner. So at the very core, that is what I see there. What are your thoughts, Justin?
Well, so I liked what you were saying about struggle. And so the Page of Swords. I see. You're saying this is beneath, right? The surface. This is like deep down, right? Is this the?
Yeah. So
Okay.
at the
I
very
think.
heart of the matter.
Yeah. I think. Well, what that says to me is I lack discipline in general. I think
Okay.
that I am like very much like a child as far as discipline is concerned. I like very freewheeling, and it's a struggle in this situation because you can see the ground moving beneath your feet, and it's just like sort of swinging away, and like I see that very much as like a discipline issue.
Okay.
Because she's the page. She is like a novice when it comes to the mental discipline that it takes for this.
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
at the root, it's just a struggle, but I think it is for most people too. But I think that's what I'm told here by that.
Okay. So I'm just looking to see. So Mendy's asking, is this a general reading for Justin? I'm late to the party. So Mendy, Justin's brought a question to us, and we're going through the Celtic cross, and each position we're all going to kind of say what we see in the cards. So Justin's question is around his fitness regime and his weight loss program and that kind of thing. So I'd asked Justin to come with a question that he was quite comfortable for, everyone to get right into and tear apart and talk about and stuff like that. And this is what we've got. So the first spread position is the kind of the innermost at the very heart of the matter. What are Justin's kind of views, approaches, feelings on it? So I'm just trying to. He's feeling like he's lost his mojo. So Jelly says, "Oh, sorry." So Jelly was answering Mendy. Justin is feeling he's lost his mojo. Oh, so more people answering it.
Well, I wanted to talk about something that was like sincere and
Yeah.
important, but I didn't. I love you all, but I'm not going to like pick apart my marital problems or anything in this kind of setting. I mean, I'd probably do it one-on-one with you, but
Yeah.
probably every one of yous too. But I just I figured this was a good thing because it's very visible too. I mean, most people can tell I lost a few pounds, and and most people that know me know that I've been going to the gym and so forth. So I figured talk about this. It's sincere, and it's also what is that? At least with open curiosity.
Yep. Thank you so much, Jenna. That's awful kind of you. We've got Robin's here. Hi, Robin. Swinging away without any proper footing or preparation. I mean, I suppose when you're starting off on something, I don't think there's any harm in that. That's how we get our bearings, isn't it? It's kind of like that 3 energy, just the kind of the breaking out and finding your feet type thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Joe
I think
says
I
the
also
Page of
lack.
Swords is the detective of the course. Sorry, Justin.
No, it's okay. I didn't mean to cut you off. I also lack organization too, which is a big thing, like a routine, lack of a routine. And I think that I don't know if that would be fire energy or swords or a little bit of both, but um, I feel like that it's mostly discipline. I think is the issue. So like,
So I think Joe's called it there. Depending on the other card's focus could be a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, the chat keeps jumping here. On the path to a new goal, says Cassie. So Ishi. Oops. Okay, so Ashley's just saying this is something that we can all relate to. So she's
Yeah, I
saying
just read
thanks
that. Yes,
for
thank
sharing that.
you're welcome, Macomar, artist or
Neem,
Ishi.
we are basically doing a reading for Justin, so we are. So we're all doing it together, card by card. Neem, Justin's asked about weight loss and fitness and things like that kind of area of his life, and we're throwing down a Celtic cross and we're all kind of reading.
Hi,
So
Neem.
V says there is a desire to progress and to get the mindset back, the beginning of a mental battle. Okay, yep, I can see that. Mendy, can see the Page of Swords here as a lack of planning. It's impetuous action, allowing different ideas to guide rather than focus. Okay.
Yep.
Jonathan, he's looking off to the left, so he's looking into the past instead of the future. So Jonathan's bringing in that kind of direction aspect of it.
Yeah, that's a good point,
Um,
Jonathan.
so yeah, no, that kind of echoes what we were saying
I
earlier,
mean, he's
wasn't it?
looking
About
into our left, but he's looking into his right. But I think that's what counts as our left, right?
yeah,
Um, yeah, that's interesting.
yeah. Um, so Cassie's saying I'm doing a reading alongside. I'll post my results in the group later.
Thanks,
Cool,
Cassie.
Cassie. Um, if you just make sure you're posting it in a group that's that isn't linked to a particular channel, Cassie, um, I'd appreciate that because I know there's some groups that prefer that we don't that we keep the posts related to that channel.
Yeah, which group? Like
Yeah,
Barely
I
Balanced would be
think
cool, I
Bailey
think, but
Balance is fine, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
because that's also a place I'm comfortable. But not that I care about it. Just
When I see the Page of Swords, it reminds me of the mind of being in young person mode. Keeping fit is so hard to keep up. Also that feeling of giving up. Right. Okay. Um, so weight loss is difficult because it means I'm taking a lot of shit that you are pro. For
yeah.
me at least. But I'm here for you, Justin. That can be encouraging.
Oh, thank you, my sister.
Um, no worries, Chris. Feel free to pop in and pop out as you need to. I was in a live earlier on, and someone James Feeney's live, and that's exactly what happened to me. My mum phoned me. Okay, so energy in the past situation, poised and ready for action, says Kathy. Hi there, Kathy. Knowing that you must be alert, automicity, automicity. That's a lot more difficult for me than what it should be.
Yeah, I have to look that one
It'll
up. I
kick
don't I
in.
don't know what that word means.
So like automatic,
I mean, it means self something, yeah.
yeah,
But
automata. Until then, you are jumpy. Okay, right. So that's how we are at our very core. Okay, so let's have a look and see on the surface how is that manifesting. Okay, interesting. So we've got the Four of Wands. Okay. So usually we associate the Four of Wands with being a card of success, of achieving something. I often associate the fours with recognition and validation. Okay. It's almost like you're seeking that validation, whether that's from yourself or whether that's from someone else. Now, when we talk about fitness and when we talk about weight loss, we are always seeking the validation because we're always looking at the end result. Do you know what I mean? We're always looking at
yeah,
whether it's our fitness, how long can we run for, how fast can we run, or whether it's our weight or body shape or whatever it is that we're aiming for. You've got your eye on the prize. Okay. Now, maybe, and this is just popping into my head, maybe it's a bit less about, break it down, little steps. So for me, for example, right, if I know that I want to lose 5 stone, then sometimes
what's
having
five
that
stone again?
aim,
What is this stone?
a
How many
stone
pounds
is
is a stone?
14 pounds.
Okay, thank you. Oh, that's a lot of weight, Chris. That's like
I'm just using an example.
oh
So if I've got it in my head that I want to lose 5 stone or say like, I don't know, 50 pounds, right? Just to kind
yeah.
of Americanize. Um, Looking at like constantly thinking about that £50 target can sometimes be quite daunting. When you're looking at a big target like that, it can sometimes put you off. Sometimes the key is to kind of bring it back a bit, you know. So treat yourself for each, £5 or £10 that you lose, you know. Try not so much that it's always good to have your eye on the prize, have your eye on the end point, but don't let it consume you. Remember
True.
and try and kind of focus yourself back a bit. And it's really just about motivation, and it's really psychologically, it's how you
Yeah.
kind of motivate yourself. Um,
Well, when you see results, that's what motivates me. It's like when I start seeing like results. But
yeah,
I've done really well. I mean, like I'm proud of myself at too. Like it's not like I'm completely disappointed in myself because I did achieve a lot. But like I said, I'm just sort of looking forward. I want to get to where I was
yeah,
eh, you know It's funny. I just contradicted myself because I said, I just said I want to look where I was before, which is the past. So that's pretty interesting. But that's my goal. But I'm looking forward in terms of getting
Yeah,
there. So,
yeah.
but I am looking behind. So that's interesting. I just caught myself in a little self lie to myself. I just had to think
Well,
about that.
it
Well,
makes sense
it's
when
like
you
it's
think
the
about
way.
it. If you've been there before,
Yeah,
then looking into the future is the same as looking into the past because they are the same kind of. It's the same
true.
point.
Of
I
course, in
suppose
Magic,
what you need to remember is that getting there is going to be very different. It's going to be two
yeah,
totally different journeys because, you know, your body will have changed, you've changed, your habits, your daily habits, your patterns have changed. All of that will have changed in the meantime. So that's just something to kind of to remember is that although the where you're kind of aiming, it seems like it's the same. The journey will be very much different. So don't try and imitate what you did before. I think that's taking it back to what we were saying kind of at the start.
true. No, that's a good point.
Um, let's see. So that was regarding the Page of Swords, I
That's one
think.
good example why tarot is really good, though. Like in general, even if you don't believe in like the woo parts of it, from a psychological point, it's your mind mapping. And just saying that and going through the whole process, I just realized that even though I didn't think I was looking behind, I actually was. Like sort of those little things that come out, those little idiosyncrasies that you stumble upon when you're. It's just good with a problem.
Yeah. Name says the ability to do things without occupying the mind with the low-level details required, allowing it to become an automatic response pattern. Okay.
I
And
have to
then she
read
said
that again.
Google is my friend. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I read it too fast.
Let's see.
Yes, I agree. Yes, that surgery threw me off completely because I was really doing well. I was like, if I wasn't at the gym, I was going for a walk. The first few months, I was really. I think I need to start walking again too, like just not going to the gym, but just walking. And I
Yeah.
think if we are going to go down in lockdown and they do shut my gym down, I think it'll be good for me because the last time they did that, I was using my neighbor's gym, but um, I was walking like 5 miles a day. I
Yeah.
was like speed walking, and I enjoyed it. I also was outside and enjoying like the walks too, which I think is
Yeah.
nice for peace of mind.
Yeah. Robin, you know, I would certainly say don't give up before you reach your goal. But in terms of don't celebrate, I actually have to disagree with that in terms of what the subject matter that we're looking at, because I think it's important that we kind of we kind of treat ourselves every now and then, and we
Yeah,
treat ourselves for the wee things, for the wee kind of we set mini goals, and
I do see
obviously
you
we don't
saying
give
though.
up at that point, but yeah, I think it's important that we do celebrate the mini goals, and it kind of just like breaks it down and gives us something to look forward to, rather than just oh, it's going to take me so long to it kind of takes that bit of it away. Mendy makes an interesting point. She says, I also see the fours as stagnation too. As fire is sideways,
Yeah,
and
plateau,
a bit
Mendy,
stuck.
big time. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because now like I'm trying to I have a hard time. Like before, I was really increasing my weight like often, and now I've been like at like 60 pound dumbbells. I can't go to 65 right now. I want to get up to 80 the dumbbells.
yeah. Simon says when he lost 13 stone, he achieved it by setting
Oh,
himself a
damn.
£3 target a week.
That's a lot of weight, Simon. That's
It's
what.
amazing, isn't it? It's so
So
inspirational.
God bless you. Um,
Inspiration,
13
inspiring.
stone is a lot, man. Wow.
Yeah,
That's at least 100 pounds, right? That's more than 100. It's
yeah,
120,
it's
about
more
120,
than that.
130.
14 times 13, so it's more than that.
So it's 140, 50, 60. It's like 175 something.
So Jonathan says when there's something to celebrate, it gives us the motivation to keep going. I'm quite far
Yeah.
behind in the comments here, so I'm going to try and power on. Um,
Sorry.
five
I'm
stones.
distracting you here.
No, you're not at all. No, it's fine. I'm just if I'm thinking through, that's what I'm doing. I think we're talking about temperature. Rose, honey, ritual. Best diet for me has been really intense anxiety. Oh gosh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rose. Every £5 you lose, treat yourself to a new tarot deck.
I'd probably
Don't
do
like
that
to even hear
anyway.
you say that.
I don't know if I could afford that on top of what I'm already spending.
See, I'm really sorry if I'm skipping comments here, guys. I'm trying not to just make this a whole live of you watching me scrolling through comments. So Joe says, I see a Four of Wands as a rest stop. The results to date, celebrate them, but watch for stagnancy or self-sabotage with perfectionism.
True.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Um,
This is kind of nice, actually.
So with goals, we usually set them high so that we forget to celebrate the smaller milestones. Milestone, that's the word I've been looking for. Thank you, Neem. Get it? A play on stones. uh, um, I used to weigh £300. The best thing I ever did was choose small goals and focus on what I could do and being kind to myself. That's
Yes,
Jamie
Jamie.
said
I
that.
think and God bless you. I think that's a really nice thing. Um, I try to look at it as like a lifestyle, like I try to look at I think I was so successful because I wasn't really I didn't get a scale until I had already lost like 40 pounds or something. I think then I lost I'm over 50 pounds now, and I couldn't believe how heavy I got in my 30s. It's crazy. But that's what I got a desk job at that one point. I started gaining weight, and then of course, I don't know. It's just like a genetic thing too in my family. But can't remember what the hell I was saying now. But yes, be kind to yourself. I agree.
Yeah. Ashley said connect with friends for encouragement.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I used to like when Steven would go to the
Main
gym with me,
person
but he's afraid of the gym now. He doesn't like
because of
he's
COVID.
very yeah, he's got COVID phobia, but I mean, I'm just careful when I go, you know what I mean? And they have rules, so but he does his workout here every day though. He does like his television workout. But I used to enjoy working out together. We would go to the gym together.
Yeah,
Steven and I are so in sync. He's like my soulmate. He hates that word, but we both will lose weight together. Like if I
yep,
start dieting and losing weight, he will. Like we're connected that way. So
yep,
when I started working out, he started working out. And it's the
yep,
same. Like if he starts working out, I'll start working out. It's kind of like we motivate each other. And him going to the gym with me is a nice thing.
yeah.
Oh,
Sometimes when we do heavy workouts, it increases our adrenaline and cortisol and can keep weight on. Um,
yeah.
Celebrate in a small way, but don't throw yourself a banquet.
I try
I'll
to
get
stay in
up.
the high. I try to stay in the high rep range. I do like 10 to 12 reps usually.
So that's the weight
So,
loss. The weight loss in pounds is £198. So £2 short of
oh, Simon.
£200.
I mean, Simon's very tall too. He's got to be what, like 6'5", 6'4".
6'4". Uh, Bear in mind Mars is just stationed forwards, so during the retrograde, did you have the energy and motivation?
You know what? It's funny you say that. It started, I felt I was sort of experiencing the cards. Like I did this thing where I was like, I don't know if I decided to do this first or if I did it after. I can't really remember, but I started experiencing the cards like daily, and I was in like a magician phase where I felt like I was feeling like the energy of the magician. And I remember putting it on the Hermit's Cave, like right now, and I felt some kind of energy, like so it could have been astrological. I don't know. I mean, it could have just been mindset, but That's interesting. I felt like I was really affected more by Neptune in retrograde because I'm a Pisces, and
Yeah.
that really threw me for a loop. I don't really pay much attention to retrogrades, but for some reason the Neptune one really kind of screwed me up a little bit. I don't know when that started, though. I have to look. Yeah.
Just trying to highlight the ones that are talking about the cards that are in front of us. So instead of focusing on the end goal, consider focusing on 4% improvements.
Yeah. Problem is for me, I enjoy eating a lot. Like really enjoy. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy eating, and so I can go months and months being very disciplined. But there comes a point where, like, if I'm like watching a movie or something, I want to like like have a snack or eat pizza. I haven't had pizza in months. I think I had one slice like pretty recently, but before that, because Steven will eat pizza, but I don't eat any bread. But yesterday I fell off the wagon a little bit. I had Pocky sticks. They're like these candy, like breadsticks dipped in chocolate.
Yeah.
They're Japanese candy. They're really good.
Yeah. Jamie says the key for me was never telling myself that I lost weight, but that I removed it because I didn't want to find it again.
Yeah.
Simon 6'4", yeah. Do chair aerobics. I miss it so much with the gym shut. I've noticed the difference in my movement. Oh, sorry, the chat keeps jumping and I keep losing my place. Think.
You know what's fun? What was an amazing goal for me was when I went to get my eye exam, and my prescription actually went down.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to have to increase my prescription, and I actually went down. My prescription was too strong for me, and
Yeah.
I couldn't figure that out. I'm pushing 40. You know what I mean? Like, how is my prescription going down? And he said, "Are you diabetic?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I had pre-diabetes. I didn't have diabetes as far as I know, but I had something going on."
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Wow, I've been walking around with a stronger prescription." That was really cool for me. And then when my doctor told me that I reversed my pre-diabetes, that was good. That was a
Yeah.
nice little moment.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm 6'3". That's very true. Robin,
Chris
so
Kelly,
position.
you're 6'3", Chris?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're that tall?
6'3". Hmm.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
You're
I'm 6'3",
gigantic.
and
So you're 3 inches
Sandy's about
taller than me.
6'2".
Oh, he's tall too. Well,
Yeah.
well, that's probably why I didn't realize you're tall, because I always see like together in pictures and stuff, and you were both tall. That's interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
know you were 6'3".
He
Jesus.
just he just
How
walked
tall is
in from
Simon? How did Simon say how tall he was?
he's 6'4".
Oh, okay.
Simon 6'4". Yeah, it's Sandy just walked in to collect my teacup as as I was talking about him there. He gave me one of those.
Yeah, I get in trouble
Um,
too all the time. Yeah.
right. Yeah, Hen says that Carol, her 16-year-old, is almost 6'4". I remember you saying that before, Hen. That's pretty tall. I wonder how 16, 15-year-old. I wonder how tall he's going to be when he's like, when he's my age. Right, let's move on. So, Robin, sorry, to answer your question, we've got the second card position is like basically the actions that are being taken. It's how you're manifesting your. So, the first card is like your innermost feelings on the matter at the very core. How do you feel? What are your attitudes? That kind of thing. The second card is more surface level. How are you manifesting that? What actions are you taking? From the outside looking in, how does that look? The third card is the basis. So this is looking at the kind of root of everything. Now we've got the Four of Cups. Oh, Jonathan's in the way. Sake, Jonathan.
Sorry, Jonathan. That was happening the other day when I was
Well,
when I
do
did my
actually as
little
well.
interview. I couldn't see Sarah's face. Like I had to like remove the comment.
So Four of Cups for the bases for me. It's kind of continuing the theme of the night. It's this idea of losing your mojo, of feeling a bit fed up, feeling a bit dissatisfied with how things are going at the moment. Obviously, I don't need to describe the picture on the card because one, you can see it, and two, we all know what the Four of Cups looks like. But you can see that he's been offered something, and he's too fed up, he's too scunnered with how things are going to even notice what's happening around about him. And it's kind of like for me, I would echo what I said. It's like, stop focusing so much on the way it was and what you've lost, what you feel you've lost. You know, things will maybe have to change. You'll maybe maybe need to look at a different pattern. And as soon as you kind of accept that, then that's when you'll be able to kind of look up and see the rainbow, or look up and see the cup that someone's offering to you. And let's not forget, the Four of Cups, it's an emotional card. We're talking about the emotions here. So this isn't just about, surface level health. It's not just about having the intellect to tackle, to get yourself to where you want to be. That you really need to feel this. You need to be in this. This is like, this is something that really matters to you, to your heart and soul. So yeah, that's what I see there. Now let me just have a look and see what we've got in the comments. So card number 3, avoidance. Just don't feel inspired to go to the gym today. Jonathan says, there was a guy in my 8th grade, he was 6'8", and I saw him, well, I've got a story. He's 7'1", geez, oh. I've got one of my best friends actually, is 6'8", and his twin brother is 6'9", I think.
Christ.
I don't know. So they're the second tallest twins in Britain, I believe.
How are they giving you guys over there? Like, what are they putting in the milk in Scotland? Christ.
Well, he's actually from Reading. He's actually from England, but
Okay.
yeah, it's all that porridge, so it is, all that Scots oats. What was that? We all owned someone's. Oh. Right, okay. So I can see the comments moving on my left, but they're not moving here on my right. Neither they are. The chat seems to be taking a while to catch up. Oh wait, here we go now. So I load the gym, but I love activity in nature. Chris, perhaps focus on what you haven't achieved yet rather than being great. Perhaps focusing on what you haven't achieved yet rather than being grateful and proud of your precious accomplishments. Plateau frustration. So I think the point that Chris is making there is you might actually find that you're focusing too much on what you've not got. You still need to remember that you've come a long way from where you began.
Well, yeah, I don't want to come off like I'm like it's negative Nancy here. This is just the one important issue that I'm struggling with. Like I am very proud of myself, honestly, about what I've accomplished. I pretty much transformed myself in, I don't know, a matter of a few months. Like when I really want something, I will get it. Like I'm a very determined person.
Yeah.
But the problem is wanting it enough to do it, or getting that kind of mojo back. That's for me. But I am like totally. I don't want to sound like like I do appreciate what I've accomplished. I just struggle to get back to where I was now, but I definitely do appreciate it. I think what I've done, and
Cool.
I'll never go back to.
Can you guys see me okay?
I can see you.
Can you still see me and hear me and all that? Right, my stuff just started loading there, so it just jumped like. Oh dear, I hope we're not starting to have internet problems.
No, you're fine, Chris.
Cool. So Deanne says thinks of the Four of Cups as being the meditation card. Okay. So practice mindfulness as well, I guess. Like, I suppose that we're in the basis position here, but just as a kind of random kind of thought, like, it's not just about food, and it's not just about the physical exercise. You need to be in the right mind frame and mindset as well. Your heart
True.
almost needs to be in it.
Definitely.
But by the way, see, just to answer what you were saying there, you're not coming off as negative at all. I think that was just a response to what people were seeing in the card,
Yeah. No,
but you're not coming off like a negative Nancy at all.
I know.
Take stock of what is going well to lift spirits. What barely balanced Harold just said, yeah. So can see Chris, right? Okay, thank you. All fine. No, it was just I started getting that loading wheel of death up on my screens there, so I did. So panic state. I suppose I've still got my phone logged in, so if my computer goes kaput, then I can switch to my phone and vice versa. Naomi, regain that control. Start with a nature walk will help with the mental health. Okay, so bringing in the mental health there as well. Right, okay, cool.
Sorry.
So Jonathan agrees. The Four of Cups is a meditation card. And I've heard the best weightlifters always imagine themselves doing the exercise before they do them. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Right. The next card is looking at past events. So it's looking at things that have maybe happened in the past that are having a bearing. And I've picked the biggest comment to... I'm almost using the comment, pinning the comments like a placeholder, so that if the chat jumps, then I think I'm going to have to move it actually. Sorry, Jilly, taking you off the screen. So the next one, past events, things that have happened in the past that are maybe either still contributing to, or they have kind of been quite instrumental in the position that you're in just now. So we've got all the fours, the Four of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles.
This has been happening to me all week, but it was happening to me with sevens. My last 2 days of reading, and I've been seeing. Ask Mendy. I just messaged her. I've been seeing triple numbers everywhere.
Right.
In fact, I just noticed it because I was on Mendy's channel, and her channel said she had 555 subscribers, and I just noticed it because I noticed triplicities everywhere. So I just said to her, and then I noticed that on my channel it was 444, which was weird. So I was like, we both simultaneously hit triple numbers, and then I had to take a screenshot of the phone because my phone had it, and I've just been seeing triplicities everywhere. We probably won't get a fourth one. If we do, it's crazy, but I've been seeing triples everywhere. That's interesting.
So we've got a triple four, so very much a stable place to be. We're looking into, obviously with these two cards, we're kind of looking at the base of the matter and the things in the past that have happened. So kind of almost kind of looking back, extrapolating back to what's happened before. When we look at the kind of past events, we've got the Four of Pentacles. Now the Pentacles quite often will associate it with money and financial matters and that, but it often talks about health as well. Health is a big thing for the Pentacles because it is one of the things that's crucial to us in our kind of everyday material lives. It's one of the things that we need to have checked, on point to feel safe and secure and just fulfilled in our everyday lives. So we've got the four there, which again we're continuing with the theme of stability. Now, given that we do have so much fours in the reading, and given that we are talking about how can we uplift ourselves and how can we do better at this thing, then I'm kind of leaning towards the kind of stagnation side of things.
Plateau for sure. I see it too.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that you've been pulling sevens, that you had sevens. You did the same thing with sevens because the sevens.
Well, remember, I had the same reading 2 days in a row. I sent it to you. And it was the Seven of Wands and the Seven of. You probably remember.
Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles.
Yes. He remembers my readings more than I do. It's funny.
So it's interesting because the seven is it's quite helpful to think about the seven as the four plus the three is that growth from stability. So you're going from your happy place, you're taking yourself from that stable place. Maybe in this case, looking at more taking yourself from a place where we've kind of let things sit a wee bit too long and you're pushing yourself out there. You're trying to push yourself further. You're trying to encourage that further growth. Sometimes that can be really difficult to do, especially when we're talking about weight loss and fitness and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let me just have a look and see what some of the people in the comments are saying. So lots of fours. Four clinging to pie. Right. Teetering to stagnancy. Too scared to walk in nature.
The way I see it is like I'm in a good place right now, but I hit a plateau. So it's like it's like the classic four, and I think Joey was just talking about. She just did a reading, I think yesterday, where I think she had the four. Was it the four of cups, Joey? You had one you were talking about. You know how it's. I forget exactly what she was saying. When it was like the stability before the five, it was kind of like, you know, anticipating, I guess, the shit hitting the fan or whatever. But I think I remember saying something like, it's could also be stagnancy, like, you know what I mean. But it's also stability. I'm trying to remember what the hell what I was saying, and I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
But
Hi, Sue. Sorry.
yeah, no, I can't remember what I was saying, so just move on. I lost it
Moving on.
in the wind.
Clinging to what you've achieved in the past instead of seeing each day as a new beginning and a new opportunity. So when it comes to creatures,
Something about
oh,
stability.
I think that's talking about animals. Sorry, that's not the reading.
Oh yeah, no. What I was saying was, like, it's in a good, like, in other words, it is stagnancy, but you're in a comfortable place. That's me for four. It's not like stagnancy is not always bad. It could be good, but it's a place that you can't stay forever. Like
Yeah,
it's a place that ultimately you want to move away from, but it's like a comfortable place. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's
I'm
getting
just
that
trying to
balance,
remember what
isn't it?
Joey was saying. What it was. I forget. If you can remember, Joey, what you said, the word you used. I forget. Let me see if she'll.
So
Acceptance. Oh, was it the three of cup? No, I thought it was the four. Oh, okay. I thought it was the four that you said
yeah,
acceptance.
she says four of cups. She's corrected herself. Four of cups.
Oh, right. Acceptance. Yeah, that was the word. Yep. Couldn't
Mendy
remember.
says, I think this is complacency more than stagnation. It's a settled and happy with your progress so far. So lost motivation to push forward. Um, I think you said something there that I think is quite important. So you said it is important that we have these kind of almost rest points or milestones, but it's being balanced enough to take that rest, recognise what you've done so far, but also realising that that's not the end of the road. You've still got a fair journey to go. So it's maybe quite significant that the fours are coming up for you, a fair bit. So three, and then we said four, and three fours of might. Joe says three fours of might, so a great place to be. Sedana's here. Hi, Sedana, how are you? Nothing is forever.
True.
Acceptance or resigned. It's easy to settle when you become comfortable. Yeah, yeah. I must admit, I'm the world's worst for, almost treating those 4 points as if they're tens, as though I'm all done. I really am quite bad for that. Okay, so the next card is shown as a possible outcome. Um, and I know that that could be a bit weird for people, in the middle of a reading, seeing an outcome card, but this is like a possible outcome. This is a kind of direction that things could be going in. Um, and we've got the King of Swords. Okay. So I don't know what you think, Justin, but I see this as quite a positive card. The King of Swords is very much, he looks at all the facts. Oh, I'm kind of not even showing him here. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Let me just pop him there
Oh,
for
you're
now
fine.
so you can see him.
Most of
Um,
us know what he looks like, but it's always good to see him,
yeah,
though. Anyway.
yeah, it's good to visualize.
So this is possible outcome. She said, right?
Possible outcome, you know.
Yep.
So you're sitting there in your throne. You've got your sword. You know, you've got your weapon symbolizing your reason and your intellect. Um, Everything that he does with a purpose. He's got evidence and facts to back it up.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about, you know, when we're talking about putting in place exercise plans and, you
Yes.
know, losing weight and stuff like that, that purpose is so important. You know, it's so important that everything we're doing has meaning, because you really don't want to be kind of um flogging a dead horse, to use a horrible
Right.
expression. You want everything that you're doing to be working towards your weight loss. You don't want to be kind of doing things if it's maybe going to either like just keep you in the same place or reverse that progress. You know how, you know, I'm sure we've all done it, where we've been eating something that we thought was healthy, and then when we get to kind of class, or when we speak to our PT about it, we realise that actually no, it's not. You know, stop doing that. It's kind of gutting. Do you know what I mean? But the King of Swords is there, and you know he's in control of all of that. He's got all the facts. Everything that he does, he knows why he's doing it, and he knows that it's going to serve his purpose. Um. So yeah, what about you, Justin? What do you think about
That's
the King?
interesting that you said that, and I agree with you. I think it's first of all, he's overcoming the Page of Swords, which is like it's like almost like an alternative to the Page of Swords mindset. You know, you have the King of
Yeah,
Swords, more mature.
yeah,
He's more disciplined, and he's
yeah,
got
yeah.
more of a better approach to things,
That's it.
and certainly more like it's like applying all of the advice that I've received here, all the practical advice about planning and sticking. Oh, most of all, making a plan and sticking to it, like the king would. You know what I mean? Like
Mm. Yeah,
the king is not somebody who would make a plan and then not do it. He's going to stick to his guns.
yeah,
So I think that that's it's also something to strive for. I would say
yeah.
possible outcome, but something to strive for.
Yeah, a
I
possible
would say.
outcome. So it'll be interesting to see what we get as the final card, which
Yeah.
is the actual outcome card.
Well, if it was a
Um,
negative card, I would think it would be like I would think of it more as like a possible outcome, like avoid this. But I think that in this case, it's something to strive for. And I've seen Celtic crosses too that have that position like above
yeah,
you as something to strive for,
yeah, exactly.
like what to
So
strive
like,
for.
I suppose if we end up with a negative card as the final card, then we know that when you know you need to change something that you're doing, or something that's in your
True.
immediate sphere, you need to make a change somewhere in order to kind of steer towards the King of Swords rather than that, you know. So yeah, Mendy's kind of picking up on the kind of, we're going from the page to the king,
Yep.
and yeah, like that's another thing about just kings in general. They've got their eye on the bigger picture. They see the whole picture, and it's kind of like what I was saying. You know, everything that they're doing, they've got the stability of the overall system in mind, and that's kind of what we're aiming for when we're talking about, you know, being fit and healthy, and you know, losing weight and stuff. Robin's pointing out that the last three cards have depicted sitting characters. Um, we've got Page to the King, yeah, Focus, do the thing, yep.
That's interesting,
Um,
Robin. That's a good point. Like, well, especially the fours. Well, the four of wands aren't sitting; they're standing, but they're standing still,
yeah. So I
kind of
think he's saying
waving.
the King of Swords, I suppose that this guy's standing. Oh no, he's sitting. He's
No,
sitting. I beg your
He's
pardon.
sitting for sure.
And
No, I almost agree with him, but then I remembered the four of wands. Of course, you have the wedding scene on the front, and they're standing, kind of waving flowers.
yeah. Um, as long as planning turns into action, so say. So that's the thing about the pages, you know, they're good at like the kind of initial ideas, and you know, coming up with things, but they need that guidance from like they need the action of the knight, and they need the guidance of the queen, and the king, in order to kind of see things through to fruition. So again, it just kind of speaks to it being quite promising to see a progression from the page to the king. Um, the archetype the page is striving. Sorry, I'm reading out without. The archetype the page is striving for, and imagining being in the future. Um, Things have been so strange. It's hard for many people to get to any
Pardon me.
given thing really, without some adjustment or kind of reboot. Um, King of Swords, his crown is yellow, the colour of mental energy, while his mantle is purple for wisdom. Okay, so bringing colours into it as well. See, this is why I think it's so interesting to get everyone's points of view, because everyone kind of draws on different things when
Yeah.
they're looking at cards. So Ashley's pulling on the different colours that we're looking at here
This
as
is kind
well.
of like having like a pack of tarot readers analyzing my
Isn't it?
problem for me. This is great.
Yeah,
It's like a this is actually a pretty good idea. I think it's turning out pretty well. At least for me it is. I mean, I
good.
hope it's
I'm
enjoyable.
glad. I'm
But
glad that
it's an
I
interesting
hope everyone is
concept.
enjoying it.
I couldn't visualize it, but I think Chris did a pretty good job of visualizing how this would go down.
Thank you. Um, in the soul card, the colours were in a reserve position. The rainbow was yellow toned over the back, purple at the feet. Okay, so that's kind of drawing on the colours from the soul card again. Um, yeah, King moves strategically. Yep. King of Swords knows where they're going. Strong energy. Um, hard to stick to any given thing. I go perhaps much too little in the images. No, listen, that's what I was just saying, Robin. Is it's so this is why this is such a good exercise and why it's quite helpful for all of us, because you're obviously kind of looking at the images and you like to look at the images and see what the characters are doing. See if there's just one person in this chat that that picks up on that and that finds that really helpful going forward, then that's that's an amazing thing that you've done for that person. So like don't by all means don't put yourself down. It's great to hear like,
Yeah.
what everybody thinks and see how people read that. That's kind of the what I was aiming for. Um, so so the king can also be seen as a fair parent, friend, or clear-headed individual willing to help. Something that's just popped into my head, Justin, to say about the King of Swords, there's lots of air energy. Now, whilst that is really good for, being strategic and achieving a purpose, I would just say to you, remember and be kind to yourself, because the King of
Yes.
Swords can be quite harsh. He can be quite unfeeling.
Realistic. He's a
I'm not saying
realistic guy.
yeah, and sometimes if there's no water in this guy, sometimes he kind of forgets to take feelings into account, and by that I'm talking about you on yourself. So don't be
Yeah,
too harsh
I get
on
it.
yourself, and yeah,
Well, it's not like I would
um,
ever do something like that.
so there's Selkie saying he's not over emotional. Um, so the king plans and has set of goals preset before implementing the first action. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Jelly, so that's what you were saying about this being helpful. Jelly's saying it's like
Yeah.
group therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I agree.
Thank you so much, Mendy. I'm glad that people are getting something out of it, because this was very much a trial run. Justin is very much the guinea pig here,
True.
and so this was to kind of see how it went. Let's see.
It's kind of like how
So
we do on Saturdays, almost like our group,
yeah,
a lot of times, but
Naomi's
more in
just
depth.
reminding you to take a wee puff.
I did.
Um,
I'm trying to behave. I don't in case the kids are watching.
So Robin saying he missed the soul card at the start. We did that at the start, Robin, whilst I was shuffling the tarot. Um, oops. King of Swords is not too emotional. He is cerebral, not so much warm. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. We hear the message we need. The more messengers there are, the more opportunity to resonate with something. Yeah, so that's Betsy's just kind of talking about this idea of us all kind of reading. Issue, the king father figure energy as the fair parent can be nurtured to go in and soothe the inner child. It's very deep, very interesting. Um, so Selkie's talking about the air signs, so Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Um, so group learning to yeah, so that's us just talking about. Um,
The only Aquarius I really know in my life is my mother. She's an affiliate.
Oh, right. Okay, Cassie. So Cassie, I mean, Cassie, you're more than welcome to. I think the idea of doing it this way is just shows that we're all singing from the same hymn sheet. It shows that we're all talking about the same cards because, as much as it probably would be helpful for Justin as a querent and with a genuine question, I think for us as learners, this is like round table readings. That's the aim here is for us to all learn,
Yeah.
and develop our reading skills. So I think if we're all kind of talking about different cards, it might become a wee bit confusing trying to learn from each other. So that's the idea of doing it from the one spread, kinda. So let's but still enjoying being here though. No, that's great. Let's shift on
I
to
can
the
see
next
how
card.
I can see how she
Oh,
would make that confuse
yeah,
that because
yeah. I've maybe not been totally clear when I was kind of setting what we were doing. To be fair, so that's maybe on me. Right, the next card number 6, is it's kind of the opposite of this card. So we're looking on to future events now. We're looking on to what's kind of coming up that's going to kind of have a bearing on the situation and is going to influence it. And interesting with the strength card. So that's a really positive card to be seeing coming up. Thank you. Uh, Strength, obviously, we see as letting our inner lion out. I normally don't read the strength card um, like quite crudely and literally, but let's not forget that we're looking at fitness. We're looking at increasing our fitness and increasing our strength, and it's just nice to see that as quite a nice positive message to see coming out if we're just looking at it in the surface level. For me, the lion and the maiden, they're not two different entities. They're not two different people. The lion is part of the maiden, and it's all about the journey or the lesson of the strength card is letting your inner lion out. Those things that you're maybe pushing down because maybe you're ashamed of them, or maybe you just don't quite realize that they're there yet. It's about bringing them to the surface and really kind of using them to push yourself forwards.
true.
So feeling a burst of that kind of lion energy, that fire energy coming up soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I actually
And being
feel it
able
right
to
now, believe it or not. I'm very pumped. I'm very psyched to go to the gym later. This is like really got me motivated.
that's good. Um, Essence, sorry, Neem says Leo.
Oh,
Joe
please.
says boom.
I got enough Leo energy in this house, believe me.
uh, I think I'm a Leo moon. So
That makes sense. That means he's a tiger, like underneath the surface. Nice guy up front, but you got to watch. Plays hardball.
Robin, leaning into your strengths and embracing them, making changes that will continue on and on. He's pulling obviously the lemniscate there. Um, in my head, I heard someone declare winning. So you've got some positive energy coming up there,
Yeah,
which is really good. And obviously, it's an opportunity for you. You need to kind of try and take that and do something positive with it, ride that wave, as it were. Um, yeah, Neem.
yeah, he
Yeah, that's
is.
what he's talking about.
And
He's
my cats
instrumental in
too.
you
Most
reaching
of my
your
cats
goal.
are Leos.
Um,
I think
okay,
cats are
that's
mostly Leos
interesting.
because they're
So
cats.
let me just so Neem's saying he's instrumental in you reaching your goal. It's about a person. Anytime you see strength, lean towards Leo, Chris. Um,
True.
so Neem's kind of looking at this as someone in your life who's going to help you. So that's interesting. And strength is linked to Leo, to the
Yeah.
star sign
Well, I
Leo.
was saying
So
that in the beginning. I was saying how Steven and I impact each other in our like when we're working out. Like we're always like whichever direction one goes, the other goes. It's so strange. I mean, it's like good or bad. Like if one of us falls off the wagon, we both do. We sort of been like that for coming up on 14 years now.
yeah,
It's a strange thing, but like I would imagine most married couples are like that. I think probably like where they're just in sync. But
yeah,
I do look to him, but he's actually really good with this video workout. I just wish he would come back to the gym with me, but he doesn't want to because of COVID. But
You not fancy doing the kind of the in the house
no,
stuff with
there's
them?
first off, there's no how. I'm afraid to fall through the floor. Number one. Number two, I'm like, I'm kidding, but no, there's just like I don't know. We're into different kind of working out. Like I like weight training and I like the elliptical. And I like walks. Like maybe we could walk together, but Steven's more of an aerobics kind of guy. He
Right.
does do little weight training, but not much. He was always
Yeah.
a runner, Steven.
Right. Okay.
Um, but yeah, it's nice when we can go to the gym together. But obviously, COVID is killing that. So
Yeah.
it
So
would
we've
be nice.
got
Maybe that's advice to maybe start going for walks or something together.
yeah,
That would be nice.
definitely. Shia LaBeouf here is saying, "Do it, do it, do it."
Oh
Justin says strength is so perfect for an outcome, especially when talking about gym work and getting stronger.
yeah,
And it's a great reminder that even physical strength comes from within and rises from will. Yeah.
true.
One of
Yeah,
the other lessons from the strength card that I think is really nice is, you know, use your strength. It's not just about brute strength. You need to use your strength in a wise way. So it's almost like the combination of strength and wisdom. You know, if you see a fly, you're not going to swat it with a sledgehammer. You know, you'll put a hole in your wall. Um, you kind of need to like kind of use your strength in a wise way.
yeah,
So use that energy that's coming up in a wise way. Obviously, kind of don't go absolute batshit crazy and end up doing yourself an injury because that's you. That's the swatting the fly with the sledgehammer. That's you going too far in a certain direction. So let's see. We have Naomi says facing something that intimidates us, and this card advises us to face that fear. Um, I say this is to- I say this as I totally procrastinated going for my walk today, and now it's dark. Um,
it's getting cold too, especially where you're at, Jilly.
Wet summer. Oh, sorry, but wet swimmer is coming out of the gym into the cold. Need to drive home, so Mendy's going to have to go. No worries, Mendy. Well, thanks very much for being here. It's always lovely to see you.
Thanks, Bendy.
Um, so befriending the weaker side and working with them to bolster your strengths, says Ishi. Interesting. Uh,
It
um,
is. They're my children, Robin. My cats.
so
It's funny, like if I swear, like if I do something, like the one time I brought home a stray cat, and all these cats were at one time stray cats, but like I remember the two cats that I had at the time. I actually found that cat at home. We didn't end up keeping that cat. I fostered it, but Steven was very dead set against it at the time, and it was like him and the two cats pissed off in the room, and then I was out here like they were like the three of them were like aligned together against me. It was funny.
yeah, hang
They
on.
know he's the boss, so they'll side with him, but they come to me for like love and treats and stuff.
Yeah, there you go, Neem. Nobody's kicking you out now, Hen. I've got your back. Um, She just went full blown hawk on me. I ain't in there. Oh, are you talking actual literal?
What?
Um, Said bye to me. Oh, right, okay. Sorry. There was a joke that happened there and I missed it. Well, Neem, you're now a moderator if you're okay with that. So I thought somebody was kidding on. They were going to kick Neem out of the chat, so I've made her a moderator. But then I'm looking and I'm like, I'm not really sure that I've kind of I think I might have missed the boat. Um, So yeah, I think that's. I don't see much more about the strength card. What I'll do is I'll pull the next card, and if anyone's got any other kind of. Oh, hang on. In my alchemical tarot book, strength is a dissolution of powerlessness, clearing out what clutters and distracts you from your goal. Okay. Um, 4W and strength both have 4W. Oh, 4 of Wands and strength both have bright yellow sky, outdoors, wide open spaces, take walks with soulmate, strengthen each other, work for both sets of weaknesses. So that's again, it's kind of pulling on this idea of working together with Stephen to kind of,
Yeah.
to achieve both of your goals, put them
True.
together and make it one task rather than two separate ones. Let's see. Okay, I think it's right. Okay, so next card. So card number 7. What is Jonathan bringing to this basically? So it can be kind of quite. We're looking along a similar vein to cards 1 and 2. It's what is the person actually bringing to the situation? What are they doing? What are they actually doing that's contributing to this? And then card 8 is like backwards. What's card 7 is like looking from the inside out, what is the output, what are we outputting, and then card 8 is like what's coming back at us, what's the environment bringing into it. So let me just shift. So for card number 7, we've got the 9 of Cups. Okay. So
You're saying this is what I'm bringing?
yeah. So
you
this is
said
the energy.
Jonathan, but that's okay. You were like, this is what Jonathan's bringing. I was like, what's he got to do with this?
Did I?
Yeah,
Did I
I
say
think so.
Jonathan?
I think
Oh,
so.
sorry.
It's all right. That was my
I must
dad's
have,
name.
he must have been right in my
Yeah.
eye line as I said it. Sorry.
No, I was trying to.
Uh,
You were saying, I'm like, but I didn't want to look like an idiot by asking him. I was just like
yeah.
waiting for you to clarify. I was like, wait, what does this have to do with
So
John?
poor Justin is trying to get himself fit and healthy, lose weight, and Jonathan's bringing him 9 cups of beer. What is that all about, Jonathan?
Right.
How inconsiderate.
Right.
No.
It's like, this
So
is a
9 of
weird
cups.
spread that Rachel has.
That's what it says in 78 degrees. Card 7 is
Yeah.
just what Jonathan's bringing.
Right.
It's all about Jonathan. So 9 of Cups. So there's a couple of, for me, there's a couple of different ways we can go with this. A lot of people see this as the wish card. So there's obviously you're bringing a lot of desire into the situation. You obviously feel really strongly, and you're really kind of aiming for this goal. But and like Robin's just said, the figure is sitting. You know, it's important to have the willpower and to set your intentions and to kind of want to achieve your goal, but it's important to also be willing to take the actions and actually do it.
Yeah.
It's not, achieving your goal isn't just about lighting a candle and maybe like kind of hoping, oh, maybe tomorrow I'll lose 2 pounds and I'll feel a lot more energetic and that kind of thing. It's very much a kind of, the path ahead of you is very much one of action. And that's something that I don't see so much in this card. Now that's just me personally, and that's just me kind of pulling on the image there. Another kind of theme that I tend to see with the 9 of Cups is kind of community and the people around about you. So again, it's not just about what you're bringing into the situation, but the people around about you. How are they encouraging you? What are they kind of doing to help? So it's interesting that this has come straight in after, after Leo energy, after kind of Stephen, essentially.
Yeah.
So I'm interested, Justin, in what you think about the 9 of Cups and what you think that that's saying. Let me just move it up actually so you can see it.
Yeah, I just think maybe it's just like wanting to achieve my goals, maybe.
Yeah.
It's I don't think it's real. I think it's like I have a lot of desires and a lot of goals that I want to meet, maybe, and that's like what I bring.
Yeah.
It's like that desire change, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's sort of a tricky card to read in that situation, but that's the way I see it. Like you said,
Yeah.
the wish card. You know what I mean? It's like what it's my desires.
Yeah. I think when it comes to things like this, the cups are maybe going to be quite difficult to kind of interpret
True.
because it's such a physical and just a kind of do it and get it done type thing.
Yeah.
You don't really associate stopping and thinking about your feelings and stuff like that with that. But I think what's important to remember is like kind of mindset and bringing the whole kind of mindfulness and that kind of thing into it as well. Yeah, the physical stuff and the food side of it, that's all important, but equally it's important to kind of take the time to set your intentions and be in that right mind space. But just obviously remembering about the actions, and someone kind of agrees with me on the talking about how water is a passive element. I think I've lost it now though. Do.
Now, when you say what I bring, it's mostly a positive thing. It's like what are my sort of my
It
bag
can
of
be
tricks or
positive or
whatever. Like,
negative.
yes,
So this can
it
be
could be
either how
positive or
you're
negative
helping the situation or how
or
you're
hurting.
hindering yourself. Yeah.
So it could also be for me that, say, I was thinking more like what I bring, like in other words, like what can help me.
Yeah.
But I think it could also be my sort of like love of like enjoying myself. He's a guy just sitting there with all of his cups behind him, and yeah, I think it's just like I like a good time. I like enjoying, like I like relaxing and eating junk food and drinking beer and having, making like big dinners and stuff. So it
Yeah.
could be that as well. So it's like what I'm used to.
Yeah. Joe there is saying cups is water, a passive element. So yes, action is lacking. So yeah, I think that's kind of what I was getting at. Naomi is though pointing out that you've got, what she sees as the two luckiest cards, the Four of Wands and the Nine of Cups. So that's, I suppose, and it's interesting that you say that, Naomi, because like I was saying, this is kind of how you're helping yourself or hindering. This is essentially what Justin's bringing to the situation, but then almost so is this, because this Four of Wands is, the surface level, how you're manifesting your attitudes and your kind of goals and stuff. So these are both almost like quite similar spread positions. Um, so talking about, let's see, that's good. Only see positivity in the Nine of Cups. Hard to find shadow in there for me. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Interesting that the three brightest and most optimistic cards all feature bright sunny yellow, affirming. So bringing in the colours again with the issue. So yellow can be associated with the superconscious or the highest level of consciousness, and the most direct connection to the higher spheres, mindfulness. With fours, bring it all into balance. Indulgence, be aware of treating yourself with lack of action, wishes, no action. I think me and you are maybe on the same page with that one, Joe. But I don't disregard what everyone else is saying. This is viewed as one of the most positive cards in the
Yeah,
deck.
but
So
I think everything has has a shadow side too. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like you got to kind of look
definitely.
at there's pros and cons to every single thing. Nothing is perfect. Everything has polarity. So
Yeah,
I think to me it suggests a positive thing. I'm motivated. I have the desire to do this, but the polarity of that, sort of the alternative could be that I have the tendency to also want to have a good time and to enjoy. It's like that desire can
yeah,
shift and go back and forth, and it does too. And that's where I'm at. It's like I can be so focused, and I will not cheat once for a month and a half or 2 months, and then I have 3 nights in a row where I just like want to like enjoy myself.
yeah,
But I've
yeah,
been the issue. I think the one thing that I'm learning from this time, losing this weight this time, is that when I do fall off the wagon, the next day I have to go back to doing the work again,
yeah.
because you don't lose everything in a day. You know what I mean? It takes weeks and months to lose what you've gained,
Yep.
or in this case, what I've lost, the weight. But it's just like going back to that. I think is the key, and not getting like, it's kind of like when I used to quit smoking, and I would cheat and have a cigarette, and then I would be like, oh well, screw it, I'm just gonna go buy a pack. You know what I mean? And just smoke a whole pack of cigarettes rather than just have fell off the wagon and had one cigarette. I've now bought a pack every day for a month because of that
Yeah.
one cigarette. It's kind of
I
like,
can. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say I can definitely relate to that from like a dieting and healthy eating point of view. It's like I get weighed on a Saturday, so my week runs from Saturday to Saturday, and it's like really common for me. Like if on a Monday I have a bad day, just to say, oh well, fuck it, that's it ruined. I might as well just eat shit for the rest of the week. How easy is it to just do that? But it's being
Yeah.
able to kind of get yourself, kind of draw a line under it. Like I'm always saying with
Yeah.
the judgment card, drawing a line under it. It'll be interesting if judgment comes out now, won't it? And almost forgive yourself for having that bad day and move on and kind of attack the rest of the week with a kind of fresh kind of mindset. Um,
You know, it's funny. I never used to weigh myself ever, like when I
right,
would lose weight, and it would work for me. But now I actually weigh myself almost every day because I like to see, and I actually keep a log. I keep a weight log. This way I
right,
can see if I'm gaining weight or losing weight. So like I don't feel as bad for cheating like if I'm not gaining weight. Sometimes when I cheat, I lose even more weight. It's weird.
yeah.
Like I'll go for a whole month and then I'll cheat like for a day and just eat a bunch of shit and then I'll weigh myself the next day and I'll still have lost weight. It's weird.
hmm
It's interesting.
What Thrush Cottage says to Robin, I never noticed that about the yellow. Helpful, thanks for that, Gem. Um, and it's something that I had it highlighted for a while there. Deanne said, I read this as contentment throughout your journey. So yeah, I mean, like regardless of whether we're in shadow or whether we're looking more to the light side of the card, at the end of the day this person is quite happy and they're content, so like it's not like you're sitting, you know absolutely hating yourself over it. You are in a good place just now. If we remember that this is you and what you're bringing, you are in a good place and you are feeling quite content. Yeah, sure, you've got your goals and you know where you want to be, but you're at least in a kind of positive place emotionally just now, which is always like the hardest for me.
Yeah,
That's
true.
the hardest thing to do. So just kind of take stock in that and really kind of see the positive in that, I guess. I'm going to try and kind of press on with some of these comments because we've got some great kind of. Um, so I can now see the shadow and the Nine of Cups after what Justin just said. You slip once, and in that moment, it's like, fuck it, give me another and another. I already fucked up. Yeah. Um, So Betsy says the situation has shifted, taking time to see the long-term goal, the broad view, and creating a new way to travel there. Dominoes to finding the mojo and moving on. I don't think we want to be mentioning Dominoes in a reading like this, do we? Do you have Domino's pizza over there?
Wait, new ways, dominoes to finding the mojo, moving on.
Yeah. I was making a joke. I don't think that
Oh,
Betsy was talking about Domino's
I was
pizza,
like,
but
oh, yeah, I had to reread it.
um,
I'm such a ditz. Yeah, we have Domino's. I think it probably was founded here, wasn't it?
yeah, it would have been, I'd imagine.
I see.
It's
I
got
don't eat
some.
Domino's. Steven likes it. I wouldn't eat it. I like regular pizza places. It's kind of like junk food pizza.
Sorry, had to go get my son up for the next part of his distance learning. Um, right, okay, cool. So that was what you're bringing to the situation. The next card is what how the environment and how the kind of outside world, how everything else is affecting your current situation. So, I'm interested to see what card we get here because with COVID and everything that's going on in the world, this can be a real tornado. This one. Um, right, okay, interesting. So again, Three of
Work.
Pentacles, work together, collaborate.
You know.
You're not that this isn't a journey for you to go at on your own, Justin. Now, whether that's I mean, I think it probably is. We're looking at Stephen, aren't we? Because we've got this strong Leo energy coming in. He is your partner that you live with, and you have said that in the past you've worked really well together. So bringing in that, that help, having someone else like kind of almost combining your goals into one goal and achieve it together. Um, that's what I see there. Don't that this isn't something to do on your own. Just kind of take that help from the people around about you. Um,
It's interesting. I see the Three of Pentacles like that as working and also collaboration, but I see also, you have sort of a priest and an architect kind of in the church, and to me that suggests like be practical, work, work, be practical, but also have some sort of spirituality involved, like be both practical about it, but also spiritual. Like in other words, take care of yourself spiritually and have like a spiritual. It's kind of like that kind of collaboration. Like in other words, peace of mind in a practical sense, but also in a spiritual sense.
Yeah.
I always see that with the Three of Pentacles.
Yep. Robin says, building on what you started and keep at it. Neem had predicted we were going to get the Four of Swords there. And then she's saying, I'm not psychic.
No, I don't think we're going to get the another four, because I've been seeing triple fours. If we do, I'll kind of be disappointed actually, because I've been seeing triplicities everywhere.
Working with others, maybe a fitness coach. So yeah, that's a good point, Naomi. Naomi's kind of pointing out maybe it's more about pulling on that expertise rather than just working with someone at your own
Oh,
level.
yeah.
Sue as well, Jackie, PT. So quite a lot of people suggesting that they see kind of just maybe bringing in a PT to help you out. I think a lot of gyms you'll be able to kind of get a free program made up by a PT. So you essentially
Yeah,
do 1 half-hour session, I think it is, with them, and they'll make up a program for you, and then from then on you just kind of go at it yourself. It's maybe something to look into,
true.
that you can
I
get.
should look into that.
Yeah, and then if you like it, if you like working with them, you can kind of look into kind of
I just got to
maybe.
find somebody that's really hot and that's
No,
gonna
that's
motivate me.
that would distract you.
Wears little short. No, I'm just kidding. I'm such a
um, so there's self-improvement, but also apprenticeship. So planning and being able to execute it. Personal trainer or group exercise
yeah,
classes, says
classes.
Jonathan.
That's what I was thinking. Classes.
Um,
I should.
so
Since
you
I'm such a snitch.
keep hammering away until you have a fine chiseled form. Okay. Yep, totally agree. Yeah. Robin, you really like taking you do take quite a literal view. I actually quite like it because it always brings something that I hadn't kind of seen before, I hadn't thought of before. When you do look at them really literally,
Yeah, he
um,
does. Yeah, I
Neem
noticed that
says,
in group a long time ago. He's
uh,
he's very much a visual reader. Like,
yeah, maybe not a PT, but others who are enthusiastic to working out and getting buff. Um,
yeah.
Kay says, hello, hi Kay, how are you?
Hello, Kay.
Leo United everywhere.
Yeah, I know. You probably have a pipeline here. You guys all have like a
So
secret pipe you talk into.
don't give in to fear or feel disheartened if progress is slow. So Pentacles is the kind of the slowest moving of all the suits. The Pentacles the heaviest, or the Earth is the kind of heaviest element. So it does progress does tend to be a wee bit slower than say air or So just don't let that put you off if that is
Yeah, I
indeed
was
kind of
thinking
how
like
things
health
tend
of,
to go.
there's like, I don't know if I explained the way I see it very well, and often that's a lot my problem with tarot. Like I'll see it in my what I mean, and I'll understand it, but I have a hard time explaining it to other. Like what I was
Mm,
thinking about was with the priest and the architect is like, you know, that's the sort of like, that um, like you're joining the practicality and the discipline with a spiritual kind of health. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
meditation, peace of mind, that kind of thing.
yeah.
And it's
Knit
all
and
about
brow.
mindset.
Knit and brow. Is your name Gerald? Have I remembered that right, or have I just kind of made you up a completely random name? But hello anyway, Knit and brow. It's nice to see you. It is a lifestyle change, so it takes work to make the change from tone to chiseled. Um, Robin says, carrying out your plans. Yes. Oh, right. Okay. I'm normally terrible with names, so I'm going to take that as a wee win that I've remembered your name, Gerald. Um, right. Okay. So that's the Three of Pentacles. Card 9 is hopes and fears. And we have, right. Okay, the Eight of Wands.
Wait, that last position, what was that again? That wasn't people around you, was it? Was that the house?
Well, yeah, people around you, environment essentially. So
Environment, right.
card 7 being what you're putting out to the situation, card 8 being what the environment's kind of bringing
Yeah.
into the situation.
Yeah, it's the same as Waite's thing. I was just
Yeah.
curious. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're okay. So card 9, Eight of Wands is your hopes and fears. So obviously, when it comes to, fitness, weight loss, we all want to see fast results. We kind of want to not have to think too much about it. It's kind of like running on custard, where you just want to kind of like you want to be able to just run forward and not think too much. When you're running, I don't know, it's such a random analogy. I know. I saw it on. If any of my UK people have been watching the James May cooking show, that's where I got that from. He was talking about running on custard, and he says when you're running on custard, you can't stop, you can't hesitate to think. You really just need to kind of once you set your intention, you want to just keep going and not stop until you reach the end. So I see a couple of things in this. There's obviously there's the hope that you see fast results and that the results are noticeable and you kind of get that high fire energy, yeah. So kind of getting a real passion for it. But there's also the fear that it's one of those things like running on custard where once you've started, you really need to keep going. The slightest falter, and that's you start to sink, and it's really hard to pick it back up again. And I think that's always, and we were talking about that kind of early on. That is always one of the fears with this kind of thing with fitness and weight loss. As soon as you kind of fall off the train a wee bit, that's you. It's really, really hard. Becomes really hard to get back on it. So yeah, that's what I see in that card. What do you think, Justin?
I agree with you 100%, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kay says not getting notifications again. Kay, is your so see how when you click subscribe, see beside it there's a wee bell. If you click on that, have you got it at all so that you're seeing the notifications? Because I know for a while, Jilly at Little's Crone, I didn't have my bell notifications at all, and I was kind of missing some of her notifications. And once I kind of fixed that, it was sorted. So Robin says a lot of crap being thrown at you coming your way. You've got a bit too much sometimes to deal with. Right, okay. It's interesting. So Robin's looking at that from a different point of view. He's looking at that as though you've got the wands coming towards you.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting way of looking at it. Joe
Yeah, he
says
doesn't
Eight
really
of Wands
factor the elements too much either, Robin. He doesn't read very elementally. It's like very secondary to him.
Right.
It's kind of like a
Similar to
Patishi
how
type.
Vincent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eight of Wands energy. Pace yourself. Sorsha. Is it Sorsha or Sarika?
Sorcha, I believe, right? Is it?
I think it can be pronounced both ways.
Oh,
If it's
what do I
Irish,
know?
it
Don't
can be
listen to me.
pronounced Sarika, but it can be pronounced Sorsha as well. But I've stumbled in again. Great to see another live chat. I had no idea you'd both be live. I like both of your work. Must get off to bed
Oh,
soon, though. No
thank
worries,
you.
Sorsha. Well, thank you very much for popping in, and thanks for that
Yeah.
lovely message. It was
We'll
lovely
be
to see
back.
you.
Chris will be on my channel on Tuesday, so you can stop by then at 4 if you want.
Joe says don't overanalyze. Jonathan says if you stumble, just keep going and don't give it a second thought. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Have the bells.
Is
Clicked
Jackie
all
in
the
the
time.
UK? Jackie Jacaranda, or
Yeah.
she's in the UK? Oh, I thought
Yep.
she was American.
No,
I don't know
Jackie
why.
is Elle's mum.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, when Elle misbehaves, now I know who to go to. Just
I
kidding.
think it's probably more like when Jackie misbehaves, you know, to go to Elle rather than the other way about.
I'm just kidding, Elle and Jackie.
Right, okay, so Neem didn't get a notification either, and it's definitely at all. That's strange. That's odd. So, your diary, as in Sorsha. Yeah, okay, so it's pronounced Sorsha. Okay, no worries. My mum used to be a childminder, and she looked after a wee girl called, spelled exact same, Sorcha, but it was pronounced Sarika. So I just wanted to check. I didn't want to mispronounce your name. Don't stop moving towards your goal. You want it, it's yours to achieve no matter what. Keep moving forward. Um,
True. It's a good one.
so I had the same issue earlier on in my live, people not getting notifications. Right, okay. She says, "Oi, Chris." Am I right or am I right, Jackie? uh, El barricades her door. I just tried it, Justin. Jackie couldn't get in the room. Justin, where have you been hiding?
If I've been hiding,
No.
I don't
You've been
know.
hiding,
That's a good question. Have I?
been hiding behind your cushion there, Justin.
Maybe. Like,
So Sue,
out
this
of
is
view.
hopes and fears. Hopes and fears is position 9, Sue. So we're at the penultimate card. So it's interesting because, like, quite oftentimes people will look at this card and they'll say, right, this is either a hopes or a fears, and we just look, if it's positive, it's probably a hopes, and if it's negatives, it's probably a fears. And in 78 Degrees of Wisdom, Rachel kind of talks about this a bit. She talks about how quite often the things that we hope for are can be like kind of the same as the things that we fear, and that's because humans have this inherent tendency to fear success. Success means change. Whenever you're successful at something, it changes your situation, and that can throw you. That can be quite, make you feel uncomfortable, you know. So as much as we all hope for success, we all kind of fear it as well. So the things that we hope for and the things that we fear can be one and the same. So it's just that kind of, I really enjoyed reading that. That was kind
True.
of blew my
Yeah,
mind reading that.
I think the original one by weight was, I believe it was hopes first, then fears, or was it no, it was fears then hopes. I think it was
Don't
fears
hope,
at the
but
bottom, then it was the house position, then hopes, then outcome.
let's see, because I've
I
got
think.
the little white book that goes with the.
Yeah. See.
Let me
If
see.
it's from Key to the Tarot, I think that's the way it was initially. It was
This is maybe different then, because I've just got the ninth
it was
card,
either hopes
signifies hopes and
first.
fears.
I'm pretty sure it was what you hope for is the first, and
Right.
then it was the house position, like people in your environment, in your home,
Yeah.
and fears, then final outcome. But I like this one better. I like Rachel's better. I think
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna
Rachel's
try and
and
use it.
Vincent Battisti does a brilliant Celtic cross as
Oh
well,
yeah,
and
his is
it's
really
very different
complex.
from this. Um,
Yeah,
I don't
he has
think it's
all
too
kinds of.
complex.
Well, he's like you got to sort of. I got to work with it. I think it's not like impossible to learn. That's not what I meant. It's like, like he has certain numbers, cards of how you view the question.
Yeah.
He almost has like constellations in the, like, how tarot constellations works, like with Mary Greer. Well, he kind of does that with like spreads, like where he'll have like this spread, this spread, and this spread, this position, that and that are linked, and they're all
Uh-huh.
about how you view the question. And then, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah, I have. That's
Uh,
what kind of confuses me. It's like it's just something I have to work with. I think more.
yeah. Simon was meaning because you didn't know that Jackie was Elle's mum. That's what he
Oh,
meant
I
by
don't
where have
know,
you been
Simon.
hiding.
I'm such a moron sometimes. I was like when after he said it, I was like, oh, that's right. Like it made sense, but for some reason, I
Um,
was thinking Jackie was American, and she was. I have no idea. Sometimes I'm lost in the sauce.
the sauce. Right. So Robin says the Eight of Wands in groups of 4 and 2 and 2. Perhaps plans are not unified. Okay. Um, Just looking to see if anyone else has passed comment on this card before I move on. Before we move on to the final card, that was actually timed really well. We've got 10 minutes left, so we
Nice.
have. So if we can wrap this up in 10 minutes, then that's my usual kind of 9 to 11 slot.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I've gotten away from using Celtic crosses, but this is making me want to do it again. Like I've really rarely used a Celtic cross anymore. Even when I'm reading for people, a lot of times
yeah,
I'll do like a 6-card reading, or I'll do a 3-card reading, or 3 cards per question. We'll focus on different things, and that's sort of worked really well for me to 3 cards. But I
yeah.
used to read Celtic cross all the time, like all the time. I've just got away from it.
Right, final card, guys, is the outcome. Oh, we've got the Knight of Wands. So what do we all think about the Knight of Wands? I see the Knights as fire and I see the Wands as fire. So this
Yeah,
is a lot of fire energy. Again, when we're talking about fitness, high energy is what we're looking for. We
yeah,
just need to make sure that we're directing that energy in a sensible way.
yeah,
Okay. And it's kind of like it kind of links in with this Eight of Wands as well, because we associate both of these cards with high energy, high fire. Try again, Chris. High fire energy, high movement. Um, Again, it's all about the direction. It's this kind of don't get yourself into that situation where you are running on custard. You want to be able to kind of give yourself those mini goals. You want to be able to stop and think. And sometimes you need to treat yourself. Sometimes things are just outside your control. Like, for example, for the past week, for the past while, you've not been really as able to go to the gym because of your situation had changed.
yeah,
Sometimes if we think back to pre-COVID, sometimes you end up round at someone's house and they make dinner for you, or sometimes you end up out for dinner at a restaurant, and you sometimes just have to make the best choices that you can. Not everything is always going to go to plan. It's being able to find a way to keep yourself on track, even when things perhaps don't go as you initially planned. All right. So take that high fire energy and find a way to kind of direct that and direct you towards your goal. Because, you know, if the horse can get its feet down on the ground and get charging forwards, then, that knight is going to get to his goal before long. It's not going to take long at all. Equally, though, where he is right now with the horse kind of up on 2 feet, he's not going backwards or forwards. He's stuck in the same place. He's using energy, he's using up his fire energy, but it's not really getting him anywhere at the moment. So it's all about the direction. It's all about how we kind of use that energy to take ourselves forward.
yeah. Well, it certainly makes the 9 of Cups sort of make sense to me now, because I see like the 9 of Cups, at the very bottom. I see that sort of being like what, like sort of the desire to do this. It's like
Yep.
it's something I want, and it's like a high intensity kind of desire. You know what I mean? It's just a 9.
Yep.
And then I see the knight as being action and actually achieving it, doing it. And I think because
Yeah.
of that 9, it's like because of the desire that I bring, the the action will be something that I'm able to achieve, and then I'll be able to do it. I think it was mostly just setbacks, but I think that desire is important. 9 now,
Yeah.
certainly it makes more sense to me with the knight, because now I see the knight as action and doing and actually doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going away for a week. Friday. So I'll be up in the mountains of Western Pennsylvania in
Yep.
the middle of nowhere. But I do a lot of walking up there. But the only thing I'm worried about is the diet. But I'll be all right. I'll be walking every day in the wilderness. I just have to
Yeah.
buy the right kind of food when I'm up there.
Yeah. Just looking down. So Cassie's not done a Celtic cross before. So what do you think, Cassie? After seeing this, do you think you'll maybe try it? There are quite a lot of cards involved. But I think if you take them one at a time, then it can be a really kind of powerful tool. But equally, it can get quite daunting. So even just kind of maybe starting with the actual cross part of it, the 6 cards in the cross, that might be a way to kind of ease yourself into it if
True.
it's something you've not done before. So
Chris,
Sue
what do you
said
do
that.
for spreads? Do you keep like a journal for spreads? Do you have a tarot journal? I don't know if I've ever asked
Yeah,
you.
so I do. I've got what's on here? I've got this.
Oh, I got something like that too. Cool.
So that's a kind of
I mean,
journal thing
how
that I
big?
keep.
How big is that? Is that what is it
A4.
like? Okay. Yeah, I love that. Is that
Next to my
what's?
face for reference.
I have the same one, but it doesn't not as shiny. Oh, here's mine. I have one of these guys,
Right, okay.
which is it's kind of same thing. It's got one of these little tabs. Somebody in Hermit's Cave told me to get it's the what do they call wandering something or other. I'm glad I got that thing. It's just so scuffed up now.
Yeah. So Jonathan says you need to get your fire stoked. Your fire stoked to give you the energy to get back to your exercise regime and also help burn off that excess weight you're trying to shed.
Yup.
Um, Sorsha says an equine therapist told me that horses are psychic. They see straight through us. The knight to me is such a hero. Your knight might get to the truth of the wrestle you've got with food.
Yes. You know, also about the Knight of Wands, it's my card for Steven too. Uh, it is
Right
because
enough, yeah, bringing that fire energy again.
yeah, he's just anytime I see the Knight of Wands, I always think of him. But I think in this reading, it's more or less the attributes of the Knight that are apply here. But I also always associate him with Steven in my
Yeah.
readings.
It's interesting because you were Justin, you were saying like how you like to go at the gym, he likes to do it in the house. He's very much like to go do it at your own thing, but and yet these cards are like talking about your journey, and it's like Stephen, 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 Stephen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're all talking about Stephen, so I
yeah.
think he's going to have to play a bigger part in this than what you know or
Do you know what's funny
um
about him? Like he's a lot less strict with dieting. Like he doesn't have the health problems I have. Like not that I have like serious health problems, but I have
yeah
I had pre-diabetes. It's now gone. But it runs in my family big time. Like he doesn't have them problems. Like he can still drink Pepsi if he wants it once in a while.
yeah
He's not as anal about his diet. He works out every day, but Steven's like, I'm gonna actually eat like the things that I like. You know what I mean? But still
yeah
go to the gym. Whereas I'm like psychotic. Like I go from one extreme to the other, and I don't even want like bad food in the house sometimes.
yeah.
Um, but he like what I'll do is I'll cook for like a few days and for both of us, and we eat a lot of salads and stuff.
Yeah. Betsy says they're such emotional subjects. Be
Yes.
strategic on this journey.
You know.
Um, so Zane's popped in. Hi Zane, how you
Hi
doing?
Zane, fellow Pennsylvanian.
Somebody was talking about Pennsylvania earlier
Him
on.
and Jilly.
No, it wasn't on Tarot Chip, it was something else. I'm trying to remember why now.
Probably the election, maybe.
No, it'll come back to me. Oh, no, I know what it was. Somebody was talking about there being a Primark in Pennsylvania.
A what?
Primark clothes shop.
Oh, I don't know what
Sandy,
that is.
Sandy was talking because I didn't think they had the clothes shop Primark in the US, but he
Oh,
says no. There's a big one in like he thinks Pennsylvania,
probably
and
Philly area. I don't even know what it is. What store is it? What is Primark? I've never even heard of it.
a clothes shop. It's like a kind of
Okay.
value clothes shop.
Oh,
Um,
I'll have to look. Now I'm interested.
yeah. Um,
Oh,
so Neem,
Joey's asking me where I'll
oh,
be in Western PA. I'll be in Clearfield, Joey. Actually, I'll be in near Clearfield. The name of the town is Penfield, which is in the middle of nowhere. It's 5 hours from here, 4.5. It's not far from you. It's way past you though. I think you're in like Bloomsburg area. So I'll pass you on 80 um, by a few hours.
yeah.
It's Parker Dam State Park is the park I'll be at.
Neem says fire of fire. Justin, you're very passionate about this lifestyle change. You're about the action, and you're firmly on that mission with one wand versus the eight going in the other direction. So the knight, Sorsha says the knight is spiritual warrior.
Yeah.
No, that's sorry.
Are there bears up there? Yes, there are. Well, I'll be the one bear up there. But actually, one time I had a bear come really really close. They don't come after you though. They eat out of the trash cans and stuff. They're small black bears. They're Pennsylvania black bears, not like a grizzly bear. I mean, they can be big, and they do attack people, but very rarely. There's signs that say don't feed the bears. There's coyotes. There's a lot of interesting animals. We actually have elk there too.
Sue says, I pulled a Divine Muses outcome oracle card for Justin. The deck literally just arrived at the door, so seemed synchronous. Hen.
Oh, is that where you're at, Zane? You're in King of Prussia?
Oh gosh, I'm
Or
way
is that
behind
where
on
the
the
store
comments.
is?
Sorry, guys.
Or is that where the store is? I wonder. Probably the store, because I think you're out by 3 Mile Island or something. You're like near Harrisburg, I think. Zane. Oh yeah, in King of Prussia. I see. Yeah. I never go to the King of Prussia Mall anymore. Oh, she's from Clearfield? Yeah, about 2 hours west. Yeah. I'm talking to Joey.
This is like hearing one side of a phone conversation. Right. I'm just looking to see if there's any other kind of straggling comments about the what was this? Oh, live in your hometown.
Yeah, Mendy's hop, skipping, and jump.
The Cosmic Prince. So this was the card that Sue pulled. The Cosmic Prince means confusion is fading. Focus on imagination. Focus on the end goal. So I think that's kind of been the theme of the night, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
They have the outlets too near there somewhere. I think in Limerick, they have outlets.
The King of Prussia.
Yeah, when I go to the outlets, I go to the Delaware outlets. They have this huge. Not that you care, you're in Scotland, Jesus, but talking to my fellow Pennsylvanians.
Jilly, Amy, Zane, and Justin are all in PA, Pennsylvania. See, because I know you live in Pennsylvania and I know you live in Philadelphia, I forget whether PA is Philadelphia or Pennsylvania.
That's a common mistake, actually. Philly is the city, Pennsylvania is the state. Pennsylvania is big, though. It's like the size of probably England, I think. I don't know. It's very big. I don't know if it's the size of the whole country of England, but if you drove from one side to the other, it's about 250 miles, I think, 300 miles.
Yeah.
It's a very big state.
Sorry. Joe says, you got this, Justin. Thank you for this. Is it going to be a regular event? So it's definitely won't be the last time that I do it. It's not going to be a weekly thing, I don't think. We'll maybe do it every once in a while. I'm looking for other people to come on and do what Justin's done for me today. So essentially be willing to come on live with me, be a kind of sample querent, as it were. And bring a question that you're quite happy for us all to talk about. So it's something that's meaningful for you, but it's not too personal where you wouldn't want to kind of discuss it in this kind of forum. So I'm asking that anyone who would be interested in doing this, please email me. If you've got me in social media, if you've got me in Facebook, then just send us a message. But my email address is elementalcartomancy, all one word, just the channel name, elementalcartomancy@gmail.com. So if you're interested in doing this with me, then I would be really grateful for anyone who wants to come on and do this with us, because I think this has been helpful for some people. So if it's just helps one person develop their skills as a reader, then I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, going
So
through the spread like this is very helpful. I think it's great. You know, it's like because a lot of times we do just 3 card readings online. We do, this is something that's going through a whole Celtic cross. I imagine it can be it was helpful for me. So, learning Rachel's spread, for instance.
Jackie, they're talking about how I pronounce Primark. So I know that it's meant to be pronounced Primark, but I've always
Oh,
called it Primark. And I can't help myself now. It sounds funny calling it. I sound as though I'm being dead posh, having tea and scones and talking about Primark. Um,
do they have like men and women's apparel, or is it like a men's store? Is it kind of both?
they have everything.
Is it high end or low, like mid? Kind of like, is it like the
Um,
Gap or is it like Ralph Lauren? Is it? Just
More like the
wondering.
Gap, I would say. It's
Okay,
kind of you can buy t-shirts for a couple of pound at Primark.
okay, cool.
So like $5, I guess. Um, Back and you guys are still going. Yeah, we're just kind of wrapping up, Mendy. Um,
It's Chris, Mendy. He talks too much.
I know, I'm like Mendy. Certainly not Justin at all.
It's not me.
Um, right. I think if I've missed anyone's comments, then apologies. But I think we've come to the
Oh, I
end.
didn't know you were in New
Um,
York or Jersey. I'm talking to Essence. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, you're fine. I'm just saying I think we've come to the end of the actual reading part of it. So I'll say again, kind of thanks very much for being here, everyone. Thanks for sticking with me. It's been great seeing you all. I honestly, this was a kind of new thing for me. This was a new idea that I was kind of putting out there, and I was kind of worried that it might not work. It's always the same when you try out something new. You're never sure how it's actually going to work in practice. The theory is always different from the practice, but I'm really pleased that we've had so many people in the live. The comments have been going quickly. You've been kind of keeping me on my toes, and I've really enjoyed it. Justin, um, you're my brother, and thank you
No
so
problem, man.
much,
Of
so much
course.
for doing this for me. For being not just for being here and being my querent for a couple of hours and letting us all bombard you with our different readings and whatnot, but just also like that you're the first. You've been the guinea pig. I don't think
Oh,
you really knew how this was going to go. So,
no problem. It wasn't that big of
from
a
the
deal. It was
bottom
very
of my
helpful
heart,
for me,
thank you
actually.
so
I
much.
I enjoyed it, man. I thought I got a lot out of this. I mean, I don't know if I could have talked about something extremely personal. I think I would just offer some advice for whoever's going to do it next is find an issue that you care about, but you don't mind sharing information about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, something that you don't mind picking apart, like something important but light. You know what I mean?
yeah. So just very quickly before we go, I will just pop this here again. If anyone's got any kind of closing views, on the soul card, do they maybe see it a bit differently now that we've gone through the reading, or do they see it as very much the same thing? Is it just kind of, emphasising the kind of tone of the reading? How do we think that it's kind of going, given the cards that we've now read? What do you think, Justin? Do you see anything different now, or?
I think it's just more about like confidence. I think it's like be patient, don't be down on yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. This is
Have
very much an upbuilding
yeah,
process.
yeah. I definitely feel a lot motivated now, though. It's funny. This has helped me.
Good,
So
good. Well, I mean that means the world to me. That's always good to hear as a reader, and I'm sure that everyone in the chat's happy to hear that you've found this a positive experience, and that's been meaningful for you. Don't think we
yep.
can really ask anything more than that. Um, right, guys, I don't think I'll keep you any longer. I'm conscious that we're coming up for 2 hours and 10 minutes now. Thank you very much again, Justin. Thank
Of
you so
course.
much to everyone in the chat who's been here and supported us both. We appreciate you all. We will love you and leave you, like I always like to say. And yeah, take care, everyone. And if I don't speak to you, have a good weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.